Why is Power O so good? Power OP. People are now running it since the last patch, since the last event. Season 3 just ended, but everybody seems to be coming in here and saying, yo, what's up with Power O?
I think it's another example of the way that people want to play defensively, opening up things on the offensive side of the ball. And part of that is when you take a look, everybody loves dollar, right? The dollar, when you saw the way Spot Me Please dominated the Madden Classic, that was like when really everybody started to transition. Oh, I need dollar, I need dollar. I think the best players in the world going into the Madden Classic, they all knew that dollar was good. They all knew to cross man, to do all that. But open up to the masses, it was after the Classic, and everyone started transitioning over to dollar defenses. And when you look at the play that people want to run from dollar, it's the dollar 3-2-6. Now, when you look at it, the goal of it is to generate pressure off the edge. Well, the weakness of this defense is there's not a lot of guys in the middle of the field. So what ends up happening is when you're not in practice mode and you run the defense properly, you call press, you get this alignment, right? Now, if I were to get in here the belly of the defense, because you have to hover to try and get the pressure. Now, if you run the ball to the right, you're getting a pulling guard to kick. You're going to get the fullback, he's going to try and pick up the pressure off the edge, or the tight end's going to get to him, and then you're going to get one-on-one with the safety. That's what makes it so good. Right there. I mean, you got the kick block to get to the safety. You got the next level. And I think a lot of it has to do, not necessarily even with it being dollar, you're trying to get pressure horizontally rather than through the middle of the field. You don't have a lot of resources in the middle of the field. But I would say most importantly, the reason why it's effective is because I stick this defender in this gap, and my user defender now is rendered useless. I'm going to get, even if I try and hold up at the snap of the ball, I'm going to get eaten up by a blocker, and then I take myself out of position to stop the run. Now, if you went back and watched some of the games for guys as they were playing the tournament, what was the weakness we saw of the Nickel Blitz 2? Well, Nickel Blitz 2, what did you have guys do? Let's just mimic it and fake it, right? It was... this is kind of what it looked like, right? It was kind of like this, say Calhoun's the DN, right? You take Kirksey here and you stick him right here. Well, the same thing happens. I'm going to get eaten by the blocks, pull, kick, safety, go, one-on-one. So I think it's more of a meta flaw. The way people want to play defenses is in the fact that they hover and they stick their defender in a gap, and then it causes a problem. Now if you were to play the same defense that you just had, and I don't allow myself to get eaten up by the ball by a lineman, I can now get over here, fill a gap, and it's not nearly as devastating.
But your blitz wouldn't be as good.
But my blitz wouldn't be as good. So what do you want? Do you want to stop the run better, or do you want to look at the difference of what just happened there? Let's instant replay. Here's the difference. This is old school user defense. Stay back, let your computer players, let them take all the hits, take all the blocks, and then you're the user defender. What was a sign of a great user defender in the run game? You're always the free defender shooting after the ball carrier, and you're the guy that doesn't miss the tackle. You get the hit stick on the player. That was the sign of a great user defender. Now what we're seeing is this. Opposite game. I'm going to stick my gap here, my guy here. I'm going to take away. A hot passing game.
Right, long enough for it to get in.
Right.
Very good against the pass.
Great against the pass.
Tough against runs because you get eaten up.
And where's my guy? Now we'll go back and take a look at instant replay. You can see where my guy is. I was holding up. I was holding up at the snap of this ball. But because you're there, you just get immediately eaten. And now look where my user defender is. The play's off screen. I don't know where I am. I'm running down. And I need to be so you're nowhere in the play. So I think it's why is Power O working so well? I think it's because if you're trying to run a passing defense against it, that's why quick base works very well against a lot of these defenses as well. Like when you see someone run quick base from gun snugs or from shotgun bunch, halfback base, that's why those plays work, because you get the pull and kick guard. If you hover, you're in a problem.
And then if you're in cover 2 and you bring the safeties down, that can be dangerous, because you don't want to bring those guys down because they're not supposed to be in the run game. They're pass first guys.
Right.
And if I run stretch, say I run stretch, right? I just made you flip.
Yeah. Make me flip, make you flip.
So say I run stretch, the safety's probably not going to get blocked. He will by the tight end by there, but generally those guys don't get to the safety. Sometimes the pulling guys do, though. And that's what I find is why Power O's better.
Even moving the safeties down, as I see that in the chat, yeah, they're flipping because of you. So anyways, even moving the safeties down, they don't play run fit, so by default they're going to drift unless you do...
right there, that safety's never going to get blocked there. I noticed when I call nickel blitz, obviously we're in a dollar set. We're in I form. You would probably get out of it, go to 3-4. We understand all that. We're saying edge blitzing's the meta. Power O actually does a really good job against it specifically. It's like when people were cross-manning, people were running halfback draw. Neither of those runs are great, but against the right defenses, they are good. And against what everyone's running right now, Power O seems to be the run that can finally break out of it. I would run it out of Pro, I form normal, I form Pro, whatever. If I had it, I don't. All I have is the tight. But you see guys that are pulling, they get to that safety. You're obviously running away from the blitzer, which is good. So,
right. I think that's a great point that you said there. Like why were like everyone's like, oh my gosh, halfback draws are the new hotness. They're the new best thing.
Right.
Ever.
It lasted like a week.
It didn't last very long because the reason it worked so well was because people were rushing 3 defenders, sometimes only 2. Like, let's explain very quickly why halfback draws work so well against guys like D. Jones. When you were having him play defense that looked like this, cover 2, he would cross man, right? And then he'd drop a D lineman, and then he user to blitzer. So that was the defense. So when you rush 2 guys, and he's using one of the guys that's blitzing, and you run a halfback draw, yeah, you're gonna win that battle. Because you only have 2 guys rushing, right? So that's where that's where people might be jumping to the conclusion. Oh, well, halfback power is the OP run. Is it OP or is it because it's attacking the meta the right way?
Right. I think it's personally slow. Obviously, another reason it would be more effective is because block sheds got slowed down a little bit, just with the whole game speed getting slowed down a little bit, say in mud head to head. So now when you call this play, you actually can hold a block for a little bit longer. You're a little more calm, a little more patient. Things work a little bit better. Right. So look out for Power O. If somebody runs it against you, your normal run defense that we've shown you 100 times on the channel is still going to defend it. We can get those links in the description for you. But the cover 4, cover 2, the way we've taught you to do it in the past is going to work. It's just good against those pass style blitzes. So that's what's up.